Did you know that 90% of the world's millionaires invest in real estate? Well, I'm Angel with the Academy Presents Real Estate Investing Rocks, and I'm here to help you if you want to go for your piece of that pie.
Yeah.
You got into TikTok. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get back into this idea. So I have a friend that is using TikTok and loves it. But then I have this other school of thought is that it's not the right demographic, it's not the right ages, blah, blah, but you're being successful with it. So what have you done that you've been able to target your market?
Oh gosh, my market. So that's I'll tell you how I started out on TikTok and kind of how it grew if you want to hear.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you said like your very first video went viral in like just a few hours.
Yeah. So I literally did it. My husband was out of town and I was working at the office late and our media guy was there and I had been obsessed with TikTok. This is in November. Had been obsessed with TikTok because at that time I was 32 years old. Like what else am I going to do but watch TikTok on a Tuesday night, So our media guy, I said to him, I'm like, I want to make a TikTok. So he helped me because of course I had no idea how to do it. He's our 21-year-old media guy and he's like
hilarious.
So I did the one that it was just like, where it's like the game, where it's like you're choosing someone from a video game that it's like, you just like turn and it has like stats, it's like stats.
Hey, I think I understand.
Yeah, it's an old one, back in November. But anyway,
I don't have a TikTok account, so I'm trying to kind of imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So, did that and it went viral. Like I got like 100,000 views that night.
Holy night.
Yeah. And I was like, what? So to be honest with you, it was very, very, lucky that I went viral, but then I obviously continued with it, so my husband and he helped me out a lot with it because he saw the potential when maybe I didn't because he is in internet marketing. So, he saw the potential and maybe I was just like, oh no, I just want to make cute videos, and so we did things like, educational videos, funny videos, cooking, like tried everything out really.
That's cool.
And yeah, just grew a following and had a lot of realtors reach out to me and kind of ask me the same question, like, how are you using this to get clients? And at that point, I really wasn't, so I was Amy the realtor, but I wasn't like throwing out if you know anyone that wants to buy and sell, because that's not really what TikTok is for. Yeah. If that makes sense, it's not,
like it makes absolute sense because basically with what you're doing on TikTok is you are establishing yourself as a real person.
1,000,000%. And I think that's where realtors have a hard time. They want to show this perfect, here's my property. If you know someone that wants to buy or sell, reach out to me. And that's not what it's about. And that's not who I am though. So even like on Facebook and Instagram, I'm not like that, which I love. So I wanted to make sure that my TikTok was me, like my sense of humor. And it helped because I think that kind of thing you draw people to you because people feel like they know you and like you. And when you're just doing that whole like, oh, look at this property and then putting like your name and your phone number, like it's not, no one cares. They're like, I saw that. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. You're making me think about, it was like, I can't remember the whole movie, but it was like this movie and this lady's a realtor. And so she runs into the house and she takes a tube of cookie dough and throws it on a cookie sheet and throws it into the oven because she read somewhere that a house sells better if it smells like somebody's cooking cookies or cinnamon or something in the kitchen.
Yes.
And so she literally, I remember watching this movie and she took a whole tube of cookie dough, unwrapped it, threw it on the cookie sheet and threw the whole cookie sheet in the oven.
I can't do that at open houses because I'll eat all the cookies. That's just like a real problem. My one friend, I was selling their house and she's like, here, I put these in the oven. So go ahead and get them out in a little bit. Got them out and ate all of them. I'm like, what the, like, can you not do that, please? It's a real issue.
That's awesome though. But I mean, like those are so. I
But
think that that's been one of my strengths too. Is that I'm just very me all
yeah.
the time. Mostly because I don't think I have the discipline and willpower to be anybody else.
Same here, girl.
Like to fix my hair every day, or like my hair is still wet because I had just gotten done walking and I hopped in the shower before this.
I had to do a video and then I was at showing. So, I mean, you got me on a good day. Definitely didn't wash my hair, but still got me on a good day.
But it's kind of like just everything else. I'm like, when my husband and I decided to do the Academy Presents Real Estate Investing Rocks, it was like, okay, this is our first event. We've put out our brand.
Yep.
This is how we're going to be until we change brands or until we quit doing this.
Sure.
And my husband likes bow ties. He ties his own bow ties. I'm like, you really want to be known for bow ties?
Sure.
That means you're going to have to wear a bow tie always, everywhere, anytime we go out and you're representing the brand.
Yep.
Sure, that's what you want to do. And he's like, yes, that's what I want. I'm like, all right, but I'm wearing blue jeans and t-shirts.
I love that. Yeah, but it's all about being yourself. I feel like even when I'm cold calling on myself, I'll start joking around with people. I talked to an old lady for half an hour the other day. Matt, my husband, loves to, he'll sit with me when I'm cold calling most of the time, and he'll work on stuff too. Yeah. And he was like, give me the eyeballs, like, get off the freaking phone. Because this old lady was telling me about her Jewish deli and just like all this stuff that it's like, well, I just made her day because who knows who she's going to talk to next, So if she wants to talk to me for half an hour, I'll do it. And that's me though.
Well, and she may not even have anybody else to talk to.
Exactly. So
especially during all this mess, because I mean, people who are over, what is it, like over age 50, over age 60, they're scared.
Yeah.
And so they're not getting out anywhere and
Yep.
talking to anybody. So
exactly. Yeah. So, but I think, that's a great message. Like you said, like, this is us and it's who you are. And that's what's awesome. I feel like that's what really draws people to you,
Yeah. And that's probably why you've been really successful in TikTok. Because when I think about TikTok, like I have some friends that use it because then they make the videos and put them on Facebook, because they say that the editing that you can do in TikTok is like amazing what you can do with it.
It's pretty fantastic. It really is.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that because again, I don't have a TikTok account.
Yeah. I thought you like, oh yeah, you know that one? You're like, nope. But.
Well, I mean, like I imagined it was something kind of like Terminator, where it's like in his little thing, or even in Iron Man with his little thing where it shows somebody come up and like zooms in on their face, and then it has like all the stuff to the sides of what their capabilities are and whatnot.
Yep, pretty much exactly. Yep.
I watch a lot of movies and TV. Yeah. More so than probably the average successful person.
I'm too, like my husband loves movies and I'm like, yeah, I can watch like half of it. Then I'm like, dude, like lose it. But that's just me. I'm like, lose interest. Goodbye.
No, my daughters have been watching like, what was it? The Men Who Founded America or something about the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Because Jason was like, you're not going to sit around and watch Marvel comic shows all day long.
Yeah.
And so he made our 12-year-old watch. Well, I want to say it was The Men That Created America or Founded America or something.
Very cool though.
She spent like 4 days and just watched it and got done. And now she's back on her Marvel show.
Well, I mean, at least she got a little education in there.
And I didn't watch it long enough to be able to ask her questions. So,
well,
but she doesn't have any social media either because we're not letting her.
Good.
Maybe we're bad parents. I don't know.
No, I think she's 12, you said?
Yeah.
I see the kids that are like 10 that are on like Instagram. I'm like, that has to be like doing something. We had like AIM. Did you have like, AOL Instant Messenger?
Yeah, AOL Online or AOL. It was AOL Instant Messenger, right?
Yeah. That's like, and I remember how like cruel kids could be on that sometimes, So I can't imagine being 10, 12 years old and having.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the reasons why she doesn't have a cell phone or anything, because being in middle school, I watched these girls get attacked in Snapchat, where the mean girls would make a Snapchat group and they'd pull in the girl they want to make fun of, and they would all make fun of her. And then when she left the group, they'd pull her back in. That's awesome. I didn't understand that part of it, but I was like, I'm not even going to let my daughter be a part of that.
And I don't blame you.
And that's probably why I don't know that much about TikTok, but
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's okay. TikTok, but so I have to say, as you were saying that, people think it's like the young kid, it's only for, teenagers and creepers is what I've heard, right? So that's what my team leader actually thought. And then I was like, ha ha, when I started getting sales, I was like, ha, look what I did. She was like, holy shit, like that's amazing. So
you know what? I'm honestly sitting here. So I have a friend, or my husband and I have another friend that he's really big into Jeeps. He does a lot of custom work on Jeeps. He's a mechanic with Jeeps,
yeah,
and he has it's like I think it's called Blue Collar Off Road,
okay,
and that's like his TikTok thing. And he's got like I don't even it was like 40,000 followers or something.
yeah,
And he said, that he's in his 20s, mid 20s, and he said it is absolutely his demographic because a lot of people say, it's 13-year-olds. It's kids in junior high, but
yep,
he's been able to corner a segment of his market too.
yep,
So I think that a lot of that is ignorance as
yeah,
far as like people don't know what its capabilities are.
sure.
And a lot of people are trying to get into it now because the algorithm is simpler than say with YouTube or with Facebook. So you
Sure.
get a farther reach with it.
Absolutely.
So it's yeah, I don't maybe I need to just break down and get
If
into it.
you get on that For You page, it's pretty easy to, get followers or views or, so yeah, I would say just look into it. It's pretty cool. It is. And I think it's cool. Just, I don't know, like I've made friends on TikTok, I said I'm not good at it, but I have made friends on TikTok and, like I said, and it's just cool because you're like putting yourself out there. So then when people meet you, right? So when my clients have met me off of TikTok, it's like they already know me. They already want to work with me. So it's
That's
pretty cool. And
yeah.
I'm pretty self-deprecating on there, like towards realtors because we're all freaking cheesy. It's like I have this one where it's like the realtor headshots and it's like them going like number one, like back up again, like so
Crossed arms.
oh yeah, yep, absolutely. But it's like people think that's funny, so anything to be myself and get a laugh, I'll do it.
I mean, when I'm not real familiar with TikTok, but what I've seen of TikTok is that it is it's a live action showcase basically.
Yeah,
So you really get the opportunity to show off who and what you are and your personality and just pieces of you that you probably wouldn't be able to showcase in say LinkedIn or Facebook
sure.
or I don't know much about Instagram either. I'm pretty much just a Facebook person.
You're a Facebook person. That's okay. Nothing wrong
But
with that.
I'm trying to learn
Branch out a little bit.
platforms. But yeah, but it's like when I think of other platforms, I don't think of them as being as live action.
Sure.
Whereas TikTok, that's basically all it is.
It really is. It really is. And you really get to show your personality on there, which I was drawn to because, being a hairstylist, I'm very I love the creative aspect. And so that's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say definitely TikTok is discouraging at times because you're like, man, I just made this video for an hour and it got 10 views. That's what like my friends will say. Like, how do you get so many views? I'm like, honestly, the first, if it wouldn't have gone viral that first night, I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's like, just put the time in and.
Well, and two, I mean, one of the things you said that I kind of clued in on was you used your media guy, a 21-year-old kid that's your media guy. So the person that we use the very first person we used to do like the digital side of one of our summits is in his 20s.
Yep.
Because yes, and we had seen his work and we were like, that's who we're going with.
Yeah.
And I think that some people have a really hard time realizing that whether you're 30 or 40 or 50, it doesn't really matter. The people that are in their 20s probably have a better handle on social media
1,000,000%
than you do.
1,000,000%.
And so like the fact that you didn't even have an issue with it, you were just like, hey, media guy, 21-year-old, come do my video.
Like, help me. And then he was like showing me how to put the text. And I'm like, I'll never be able to figure this out. He's like, you'll be fine. But
I think that like that would be stepping out of the comfort zone for a lot of people.
Sure.
Because you're basically admitting you don't know how to do something.
Oh, that is where I don't know if you're the same way, but if I don't know how to do something, I'm not gonna, like, I'm a very humble person. I'm like, no idea. Like, don't understand this at all. But I feel like it's a good quality to have, right? So that's why, and also like on my team, it's like if I'm having a bad day, I'm like, hi, bad day, help me. And we used to have Slack, now we have Workplace by Facebook, and it's like, hey, let me help you out. What do you need? So I don't know if you're that way, but I'm just like, if I don't know something, I'm like, hi, help,
I mean, I know what my superpowers are.
Sure.
And rather than working on my weaknesses, I would rather keep working on my superpowers and find other people that can do my weaknesses.
1,000,000%. It's like that 80-20, So I'm right there with you, girl.
Yeah, because like for real, like my biggest superpowers are I can talk to people.
Yep.
I find something to relate to people. I help make people feel at ease.
Yep.
Which is why door knocking freaked me out when the lady answered the door, because I was no longer at ease and I had no way to relate to her other than her stream of 3 solid months of Facebook slot machine posts.
No.
I'm like, and I thought more, maybe I could have been like, well, do you play Bejeweled Blitz? I don't know. And she would have known I was like stalking her on Facebook. So I was just like,
do you like Farmville? No.
I don't know. It's like I lost that relatability thing there, but it's like, I know that those are things that I'm good at. And so I try to really focus on those. My husband's an engineer. I leave all the numbers to him. I can do them, but it takes me like 12 times longer than him when he can just look at it and be like, oh yeah, this is what's going on.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? Where do you see that number?
I'm like, I didn't even know that number existed. What? No, like that is not my thing either. The little detail oriented tasks are not my thing.
Yeah,
but that was like, I know that, and I work on the things that I'm good at, just like you said, like people, relating to people, talking to people, so it's good when you know that.
Well, I hear a lot of people say, well, you need to work on your weaknesses, and okay, maybe a little bit, but the more we take away from our superpowers to work on our weaknesses, the more we become mediocre, and mediocre doesn't do anything.
I love that. Yes, keep working on your superpowers. That's what I think, because mediocrity is not for me.
Yeah, well, and just being able to ask people for help, I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's not bad to ask people for help, especially when it's something that doesn't, I mean, if you're not passionate about something, why waste your time on it?
Absolutely. Hey, I hear you.
So like when we
next, I'm good.
So like when we first did the videos, everything was live and I still do it this way, because basically the only thing I know how to do is start record and stop record. That's so when we decided we needed to do more than that, we start looking for a production team.
Sure.
And so we get recommended to a production team, and we're talking to them, and they can also do all of the social media platforms. And I'm like,
perfect.
You can do what? Yeah. And so it's just like talking to them and knowing that they can do this part for me. And like, I still have, like, I go through and I try and add my little, like my, not attitude, but my personality into the post. Sure. Or I find a post or I add to a post. I can do all that stuff. But as far as like knowing how to put it on Instagram, or knowing all the changes that have to take place to it to put it on Twitter, or what has to happen to put it on Facebook, I don't have to worry about any of that anymore.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to.
It's so liberating.
Like, you probably see a post, you're like, this is nice. I mean, look at this, Well,
I mean, I try and stay on top of it, because one of my biggest fears is that I'm going to run into somebody. And this is why we haven't gotten VAs yet is because I am scared to death that I'm going to run into somebody and they're going to be like, don't you remember this conversation we had? What? Because they had a whole conversation with a VA or with an assistant.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to happen to me.
I know.
If a conversation happens to be
like,
me.
yeah, I remember.
Except this, I don't have a poker face. It's going to be like,
that's right.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So just keep, after this pandemic's over, just keep your mask on and possibly always have a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only way I'd be able to hide the fact that I was absolutely lying.
Yeah. Even on the phone, people say stuff and I'm like, no, they're like, you probably should have said yes to that because, I would have liked you a lot more. I'm like, don't care. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't like hockey. I'm not going to tell you I do.
Well, honestly, it's too hard to keep up with the lies.
Oh God. Because
it's hard to remember who you said what to. So it's better to just not.
Well, and then it's like, what, I'm going to go to your house for a listing appointment. And then you're going to talk about hockey. And then I'm going to be like, I don't know what you're talking. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just say I don't like hockey.
Weren't you watching the game last night? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that match. Yeah.
I got some kind of a cup.
Exactly.
And that is the extent of my hockey knowledge, is there's some kind of a cup involved somewhere, and a gold cup, not another kind of cup.
Which those are also involved,
Yeah, but it's I think that level of just genuine, authentic goes so far. Absolutely. And it's going to go far even in cold calling, because we're programmed to hear things.
Yep.
Just as humans.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you're talking to somebody, you get that kind of sick feeling in your stomach, or you get that weird feeling.
Right.
It's because there's something about the voice.
Yeah.
Because like when I think about my son with profound autism, he could still, like, he could read off of me when I was stressed out.
Sure.
Even if I was trying to smile and love him and hold him, he could feel the
energy,
the tension in me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And when he would go into the nursery at church, there was one lady there that she didn't want to be there. And she'd made that pretty clear.
Yeah.
But the group that I was with still wanted to use her because she was like the only person they could get to run the nursery at that time, and blah, blah, blah. And my son was very young, but he would just scream and scream whenever she was in there. And it wasn't because he knew her, and I don't know that he remembered her face. Maybe he did, but I think it was more the energy that she had around her.
You could feel it.
That he could read.
Yeah.
And so I believe that everybody can do that.
Yeah.
And that they can do that on the phone. They can do that through a video. They can do that through any number of methods.
Yeah.
We have to really be careful to be our genuine selves.
Sure. And if I'm not like feeling it, then I'd rather not do it, because it's like, that's wasting everyone's time. It's wasting people's time that I'm calling. It's wasting my time. I'm not going to do it just because it's like, if I'm not feeling it, I'm like, no, because I'm not going to do anything for anyone. So,
yeah, but if just hearing you talk makes you think that maybe one of the reasons why TikTok has been so successful for you isn't necessarily because of the vehicle of TikTok, but because of you. And that anybody could use any vehicle.
Sure.
So long as they do so from a genuine position.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the message that I would put out there. Genuine, be yourself, for sure.